Today we're diving deep into the real reason why we judge other people and what those judgments can actually teach us about our own selves. Welcome to another video. For those of you who are new here, my name is Nena and I'm a life coach that specializes in personal development. Here at this channel, we talk about everything having to do with our emotional well-being, understanding our own psychology, and living our best life possible. So if you aren't already a subscriber, go ahead and become one. We definitely want you to stay connected. Today we're talking about judging other people, and the first thing we have to realize is that how we judge other people is actually how we are judging our own selves. So we're going to discuss kind of the psychology behind it, what needs we're trying to get met by judging others, and then we're going to walk through an exercise that is really going to help us learn a lot about our own selves by the way we judge other people. So we can use this as a tool of self-awareness, and we can also use it to start to become a lot more tolerant of other people. So as you watch this video, I want you to ask yourself one question, and that is, how do I measure the value of my own life? So for example, is it by relationships? Is it by success? Is it by lifestyle? Is it by progress? We all have both internal and external metrics that we use that we are either consciously aware of, or maybe, that are in our subconscious that we don't realize, that we use to really determine how we are feeling about our own life. Chances are you probably have a combination of factors or metrics that you use. So you want to think about what those might be for you. And then you want to think about which of those things are actually the most important for you. Chances are you're going to find that these are the things that you are most likely to judge other people on. This is because these are the things that you clearly value the most, and therefore we subconsciously feel that these are the things that our own worth is based on. So now we want to think about those criticisms of other people and come up with some themes, because again, these are the things that we are going to determine we value the most, for one, but also the areas that we are most insecure about. While it's probably not the most constructive thing that we can do as human beings, it is understandable that we make judgments about other people, and that is because by nature we like to compare things. So we are actually comparing ourselves to other people when we are making that judgment, and usually that comparison is something that's going to be favorable to our side. So that means that we are making a judgment about them because we can therefore say that we are doing a better job in that area. So if we are criticizing, for example, someone for how they look, we are actually saying that we feel that we look better than they do. Now, I'm sure I don't need to tell you that these judgments are not very good for our emotional well-being or for our relationships, but they can actually provide us with a lot of useful information. So let's talk about an exercise that we can do. This is going to help us with both self-awareness and self-growth. So the first thing we want to do is to think about a person that really bothers us, or someone that we are likely to criticize. And we want to go ahead and list out all those things that are annoying to us about that person and all the things that we generally tend to make judgments about. So once we've taken time with that, we want to ask ourselves the next question, which is it fair that I am judging this person that way? Why or why not? And also, would I be okay with being judged in the same manner? Now, the third thing is going to require a lot of reflection, and that is to determine which of those criticisms that we wrote down could actually be applied to our own life. How are we actually like that person? Really give it a lot of thought, and I'm sure you're going to find some similarities, because we are either, similar to them in some way, which is why we are making these judgments, or we are worried that we're going to become similar to that person, or that these judgments could be applied to us. Now for number 4, we want to get a little deeper with that, and we want to think about what we are actually gaining by criticizing people. So we are making judgments, it is because it is serving some need for us, and we need to figure out what those needs actually are. And it could be as simple as we want to feel better than that person, or we want to ruin the reputation of someone else. But what is the root cause of it? So there is some kind of reason why we're doing it, and we're trying to figure out what that is so we can actually correct this behavior. And number 5 is the key to actually changing our behavior, which is to answer the question, how can those needs be met in a more healthy way? So when we answer these questions, we come up with a lot of information about ourselves, and we can see what areas that we are not confident in, or where our self-esteem needs to be further enhanced, or what things we just need to work on in our life. And so when we figure out what those needs are, we can think of ways to meet those needs. So what things can I do right now to make me feel better about myself in these particular areas? So just make sure on a regular basis that you ask yourself these types of questions, because you want to be able to analyze your answers and get that information that you need to know about yourself. You can take those answers and really start to make incredible positive changes in your life. You can have your needs met in very healthy and constructive ways that can really start to push your life in the direction that you want to be going in. So I hope this video was helpful to you, and if it was, please like it and share it with someone else who may need to hear this very same message today. Also, if you aren't already a subscriber, please go ahead and become one. We definitely want you to stay connected, and I thank you so much for spending time with me today. Have an amazing day.